With her vibrant red hair and enchanting features, Jessica Chastain epitomizes the beauty of classic actresses from the golden age of Hollywood. But Chastain is more than a striking beauty, as she has proven time and time again. Although she often gets mistaken for the equally beautiful and talented Bryce Dallas Howard, Chastain is a star in her own right, and she is not afraid of pushing herself as an actress in order to hone her craft. She can always be counted on to provide powerful and rich performances, no matter the film she is in. Though she still has a long and interesting career ahead of her, she has already managed to appear in some truly great films which display her amazing talent. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Jessica Chastain. She knew she wanted to act at a young age. Chastain caught the acting bug at age 7 when her grandmother took her to see a production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. She told The Telegraph, "As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my god, this is my job, this is what I am." I've always had an active imagination, and I didn't do very well in the public school system, but that was a complete aha moment for me. Early on her career, people wanted her to dye her hair. It's hard to imagine Jessica Chastain without her signature red hair. But when she started auditions in LA, people recommended that she dye her hair blonde. She told The Telegraph, "People would tell me to dye my hair blonde when I first started auditioning in LA. Funny how defined we are by how we present ourselves to the world. I'm either thought of as ethereal or fiery. And maybe that's the interesting thing about red hair, there's that fiery Renaissance connotation and the ethereal." In addition to that, some folks had the nerve to tell Chastain she didn't have the looks to hack it in Hollywood. Before then, I wasn't getting parts because people kept telling me I wasn't pretty enough. But I've come to realize that everyone's idea of what's pretty is so different. That's for sure, but if there's one thing Chastain isn't, it's unattractive. She didn't know who she played in Dark Phoenix until she saw the film. In X-Men: Dark Phoenix, Chastain played Vuk, an alien shapeshifter bent on reviving her people at the cost of the entire human race. However, while appearing on the Happy Sad Confused podcast, she admitted that she didn't even know her character's name until she watched the film on screen. She said, "I think the studio was bought at a certain point. I didn't even know what my character's name was until I saw the film. What's happening?" It was an interesting thing. But Simon Kinberg, who directed it, is an incredible human being and I'd work with him again. I love him. Dark Phoenix ended up being delayed prominently due to the long post-production and consistent reshoots. These reshoots were in part due to negative test screenings that Fox wasn't happy with. The film was also rewritten several times, changing the antagonists around, which could explain why Chastain had no idea who her character was. She turned down American Hustle. Chastain knows you can't do it all. During the Happy Sad Confused podcast, she revealed that she had to pass on a role in American Hustle to work with Liv Ullmann. She said, "I wanted to do it. It conflicted with Liv Ullmann and Miss Julie. I had been attached to that for a long time, and I worship Liv Ullmann. So I had to say sorry, there's conflict." The role eventually went to Jennifer Lawrence. Researching Tammy Faye character broke her heart. Development on the Eyes of Tammy Faye was officially announced in early 2019 when Chastain and Andrew Garfield were set to lead the cast and the Lovebirds' Michael Showalter attached to direct. It would later be revealed that Chastain had acquired the rights to Tammy Faye's life story in 2012 and had been working on the project behind the scenes for years. In looking at her prep work for the biopic, the Oscar nominee called the research heartbreaking and detailed spending hundreds of hours studying all footage of the titular evangelist Chastain could find. She told ET Canada, "The fact that we vilified her for the makeup she wore and how she looked instead of listening to what she was saying about love, what she was saying about religion, about Christians, and about what Christianity is supposed to be about, how she was reaching across and really trying to love those who feel like they've been abandoned. It broke my heart that she was never acknowledged for that. She was just made into a joke. Even now when you mention Tammy Faye, people say, oh yeah, she's singing and there's mascara running down her face." She had to change her body for The Help. Chastain had to gain 15 pounds for her role as Celia Foote in the film The Help. She would buy cartons of soy ice cream, microwave it, and then drink it. She told The Hollywood Reporter, "You know, I put on weight for The Help and all of that. I think because I didn't have a support system that I needed, I did everything in an unhealthy way." Fortunately, Chastain has learned since that there's a better way to go about such things. "But now I know, okay, if I have to play the piano, I need a piano teacher. If I have to gain weight or gain muscle, work with a nutritionist. I give myself the respect to know that I am not a piano teacher, I am not a nutritionist, and I need to be able to take guidance from other people. She dropped out of high school. Despite her intellect, Chasten realized that school wasn't for her, and she subsequently left without graduating. She said that she had a very difficult time in high school and missed too many days. She was unable to graduate with her class, but eventually got an adult diploma. A famous actor helped her pay for a prestigious college education. After making her stage debut in a production of Romeo and Juliet, Chasten was accepted to the Juilliard School in New York City, a prestigious performing arts conservatory. And she has the late Robin Williams to thank for making it possible for her to study acting at Juilliard. Chasten, who doesn't come from a wealthy family, said she would never have been able to afford the cost of the prestigious New York school if it were not for Williams' scholarship. She told Interview magazine, "I'm the first person in my family to go to college. We didn't have a lot of money, and Juilliard is a pretty expensive school. Robin Williams is a very generous Juilliard alumnus and gives a scholarship every 2 years to a student, and it pays for everything, and I got it." She graduated in 2003 with a BFA in drama. Chasten never got to meet Williams, who died in 2014, but she sent him many letters of thanks. She is a committed vegan. Chasten was in her 20s when her doctor wanted to put her on medication to control her high cholesterol. Although her energy level was low, she was apprehensive about taking pills and decided to try out a vegan diet. She noticed an immediate spike in her energy. Even still, she wasn't entirely sold on the vegan lifestyle until she later ate fish at a restaurant. She explained, "I went to the restaurant and I ordered fish and risotto and immediately I felt bad, like not emotionally but physically, and so I said okay, I'm going to just listen to my body now. Being vegan was not anything I ever wanted to be. I just really was listening to what my body was telling me." She adopted veganism in 2007. Her dad was a rock musician. Chasten's parents were young when they had her. Her mother, Jerry Chasten, was 16, and her father, Michael Monasterio, was 20. When she was a child, Monasterio left and pursued his dream of becoming a rock star, leaving her mother to raise her and her younger sister Juliet on her own. Meanwhile, he found success performing with numerous rock bands. Consequently, Chasten refuses to talk about her father, who passed away in 2013 aged 55.